Hi guys, it's tutorial 4 and we're going to look at data types today. So let me just clear out my old modules. Let's remove these. Okay, remove module. So we're going to insert a module. Okay, public sub. Let's say test data types. And there's two different ways that you can declare variables. I can declare it within the sub, my string and string. Or I can declare it outside, which makes it available to multiple projects. So I could use it for various subroutines across this module and other modules. Actually, you can make it because then it becomes a public variable that you can use. Okay, that's to do with variable scope. We'll go into that later on. So my string, so that'll return a string data type. Let's go for my variant. So let's do it my var as variant. Dim my double as double. These are the most common ones that you'll use. Dim my int as integer. Dim my long as long integer. Just take some more memory. My long integer Boolean, my bool as Boolean, and dim my, what else we got, date actually, yep, date as date, and let's say dim my range as a range objects. For this one, sorry, you'll have to use an object setter. Let's delete that, you don't need that after the declaration. I keep doing that. Dope. So let's do an input box and let's set my string equals input box, enter value. I need to wrap my parentheses around that because I've declared it within a variable. Okay, and then debug, print, that basically prints it down to the intermediate window, and I'm just going to print the variable that I've just created. So, enter value. This will allow you to pass most things into it because it sees them all as string. 11, it's still seeing 11 as a string. Okay, you can actually cast it. I'll show you about casting and parsing later on. But my string, okay. So, if I then change the value of my string to my var, the same thing will happen because variant data types allow you to pass anything through them. But if I change it to my double, let's change this one again, double. If I try and then pass text to it, Gary, it's going to come up with a problem. If I try and put a date into it, it's going to come up with a problem. If I put a 11 in there, it'll like that. But the usefulness of the double data type is you can actually type to decimal places. So 1253 will be returned as 1253. You need to declare a double if you want decimal places, essentially. If we were just putting numbers in, then you'd put my int, and then you change that to my int as well. So now all I'll be able to do, if I put 1125 in there, it'll round it down. If I put 1175, it'll round it up to 12. You can see the difference there. Okay, so let's go now to, we'll find and replace it again. We'll go, that's what we're finding. What we're going to find, so we're doing my int, and we're going to replace it with my bool. Replace all. Made 3 replacements, yeah, cool. Actually, I didn't want to do that. It's actually renamed the data type as well. So enter value, then my bool. This will only accept true, false. I think yes and no. No, just true, false. So I'll try and put 11 in there. It's going to have a problem. Gary. No problem, Gary. Yeah. So you have to declare true or false within that data type. Boolean statements are the heart of programming because everything's either true or false, and you have to basically say If the value in this range is equal to 11, then it's true, otherwise it's false, essentially. We'll do some more Boolean assignment later on. What we've got to do now, my dates, so my date. This works for date and time values, so today, what's today's date? 30th of the 8th, 2015. That prints out fine, look at the bottom, let me get rid of these Boolean. Prints out fine at the bottom, and if I put 11:25 in, it'll print out fine as a date. I think you can also do it together, so 30th of the 8th, 2015, 11:25. It will let you do it, the full date and time string. Again, try and put yes in there, it's going to have an error. The last thing I'm going to show you, really, let's get rid of this input box example now, is how to set the value of that range so it can be reused. So the actual term that we use is set my range, and once it's set, equal to range A1. Okay. Now we've set that, we don't need to put range A1 anymore. We can actually just put my range. Select. So as you can see, it brings up the IntelliSense values. So what this will do now, when I run this application, it'll select range A1. And then I could probably put with my range dot font dot bold equals true, if I can spell true, dot font dot bold font italic equals true, and I can even set the value here, dot value equals Gary, end with. Okay, let's open that up again. So what I've done there, I've used a with end with setter. As you can see, my range.select, there's a period there, or a full stop. What this does is, that's the method. So here, that's actually the property value. That's all. These are also properties, but it sets the values. So when I run this, it will say Gary, then what it will do is put it to bold, then it put it to italic. Yeah, Gary bold and italic. You can also then, once it's set as a range, you can actually change it to something called an object. Everything is an object in programming, but it allows this to be used by multiple applications then. There's something called late and early binding. We'll go into that in a later tutorial. But yeah, and then you set the value and you can do various things with it, and it just makes it really speedy, really, to be honest. So now we can go, if I wanted to offset it as well, so my range dot offset, it's going to 1 0, so 1 row and 0 columns, dot select, so it's going to select it. It will then go down 1. We'll show you what other cool tricks that happen by setting ranges later on. You can also set it to a worksheet object. You could set my range equal to sheet 1, for example. Then I could just go sheet 1 dot name equals Gary. So that should change the name of sheet 1 to Gary. There you go. I've now changed that object. It will no longer relate to range A1. It will relate to the sheets. So sheet 1. So that's the index value of sheets. So it's a property essentially. That's the object. And then the actual value of it is Gary. So it sets the value. So that's a method essentially. But that is a property. The name is a property of a range, and that's just setting the property value. So that's how you assign properties with different data types. I hope that's clear. There's quite a few data types. There's some that we haven't covered, such as byte, long, and others. I will post a copy of the data types on my website. It will be coming along with this video shortly, and you'll all be able to access it through there. But if in the meantime, just leave a comment in my comments field, or if you've got any questions, just contact me or email me, and I'll be able to help you out. Okay, thanks guys.